I'm very pleased to be invited to talk with you about a recent book I wrote called Confronting Capitalism. The purpose of the book is not to replace capitalism, but to make it work better for more people. And so in the book, I point out many changes that are occurring in capitalism from what I might call the old capitalism to the new capitalism. The old capitalism was pay the workers as little as possible, pay your suppliers as little as possible to the distributors, because logically that would sound like it leaves you with the most profits. That's the old capitalism, sweatshop capitalism, and so on. The new capitalism is a caring type of capitalism. It says that we care about everyone who works for us or with us. That includes our employees, our suppliers, our distributors, and we really want to form a team to be successful against our competitors. We want everyone to feel motivated, well paid, and part of a family, in a sense, that is out to do a great job for our product offer. So I know you have questions about retailing, especially the kind that is franchise-based, or maybe a retailer who owns a number of shops and also franchises a number of other shops. And it is possible that the big question there is, can you exert enough control over the franchisees to give the promised quality to the customers? You don't want poor franchise operations hurting everything you've meant to offer and you promise to the customer. And not only that the product is good, but that it's delivered on time with a smile. So I would like to answer questions that may concern you right now. Yes, the real issue facing retailers is whether they should operate in the short run or in the long run. Now, most of them want to last a long time. Most of them want to be a McDonald's that will last for such a long time, or a Starbucks. And that means do not go after short-term profits. Have the patience to make the company so well branded, so well preferred, that customers keep coming back. Not only keep coming back, that's not enough. Buying more and telling others as advocates, what a great experience I'm having with that, with your company. Now, here's the problem. The Japanese taught us when they entered the United States that market share growth was more important than profit growth. If you're going to focus on profit growth, you're going to tend to be short run and not do the things necessary to bring in more people in your business to sample it and to enjoy it. I would put it this way: make a very clear customer promise that you communicate clearly. Make sure that you deliver on your promise very reliably. Make sure you're always trying to improve your operations. And fourth, make sure you're thinking about innovations, not just making things go better, but even brand new ways to run your business. Well, your workforce, to me, and your employees in particular, are your face to the world. I mean, they may not meet the CEO of the company or some of the managers, but they will meet the people who serve them coffee, if it's Starbucks, or hamburgers, if it's McDonald's. And it's very important that they're motivated and happy. Now, some people reduce their happiness to the question of how much do I have to pay them? But if we don't start raising the earnings of people, not only will your company suffer, but even the investors in your company. because there won't be enough money in the pockets of people to buy the products, and therefore will hurt your retail system, and also the investors who want to keep having people come with money to buy the hamburgers or the coffee or what it is. So I think pay is important, but pay is not everything. In addition to pay is the question of the working conditions and the way management behaves toward the employees. You don't want an autocratic management system. You want one where the manager is really managing a family of employees, where they participate in the goals, and maybe even there's incentive pay for outstanding performance. We advise companies to work hard on developing a unique brand for themselves. And some people might say, but that's expensive. That's like big advertising dollars. And I say, no, that's not true. First of all, remember this. The best advertising you're going to get is from your customers. Because when it's person to person, talking about how good you are, that has much more weight than a 30-second commercial. Secondly, we're in an age we're moving from big budget advertising to actual digital work, where we're trying to have information on individual customers of ours. And we go on Facebook, we can reach them on Facebook, we know their interests. And as companies get to know more about who likes them and is shopping with them, companies can adjust their offerings almost to not only segments, but to individuals. In a very important article by Ted Levitt in the Harvard Business Review, he made a big case for if you can't be the innovator, be the fast follower. I would recommend that you read a book called Firms of Endearment. That means companies that are dear to people. And this was written by Mr. Segovia, and it's part of a bigger picture of things called conscious capitalism. Conscious capitalism is the title of a book, but it is a movement in the United States to say that smart companies will, first of all, have a higher purpose. It's not to sell you just food, but to sell you nutrition and health. That's a higher purpose. Not just to sell you a car, but to sell you an experience of safety and comfort and so on. So have a higher purpose. Secondly, be stakeholder oriented, not just shareholder oriented. Actually, you can make more money for your shareholders, your investors, if you do a better job on your stakeholders. If your workers are happy and suppliers, and you chose good distributors and so on, there will be more profits made for the investors and shareholders. So there's a lot of wisdom in these books that I mentioned to you. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you some of the things that are happening in what I call the new caring capitalism.